Morning everybody, I'm Luke Sullivan. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We are right off of Interstate 25, about 30 minutes north of Denver. Easy spot. We are right on the frontage road. We've got a ton of inventory staring right at the interstate for you to have a look at. A lot of different trailers too. We've got everything from little 2-horse bumper pulls all the way up to 5- and 6-horse LQs and a little bit of everything in between. So we'll go over what's behind me today, which is a 2025 Logan Coach Bullseye 3-horse with a nice tack room up front. You can see the swing out saddle rack already there at the behind me. So a lot of nice features going on with this trailer. Again, like I said, really great runaround trailer if you're adding to the fleet, or if you're looking to gain a bit of independence, or if you're looking to maybe upsize from a 2-horse to a 3 because you added to the herd at home. You have that ability with this, and a good nice compact package too. You can get to a lot of places with these trailers, even up in the mountains. So we'll work our way up front real quick. Meat and potatoes of things. The most important part about any trailer in my aspect is certainly our hitch and our connection point. Anytime you take off on the road, you want to check all of this stuff over, whether it's been hooked up overnight or you're just getting hooked up. But Logan does a cool job with this hitch. It's a 2 5/16 inch ball, no change there, but really nice coupler with this. You can pretty much eliminate a lot of the old problems that we had with the different style couplers that you would kind of highball it, so to speak. So really positive connection with these, and then whenever you want to disconnect, it's as simple as raising that up, and you do have a safety pin that'll go through here. When you're in travel mode, you'll obviously pin all of that together, but really nice feature with that too. And then heavy duty safety chains. Actually a really nice example. Obviously our shipper brought it out to us like this, but how to shorten your chains. You hear a lot of those days in the summer, especially out here, of make sure your trailer chains are tied up or the slack is taken out of them so you're not creating sparks down the road. But this is exactly how you do it. Just add a little bit of twist in them and it shortens them up. And then depending on your tow vehicle, obviously this is all going to change, but you can lengthen it back out as well too. And then Logan, small little touches, they do a nice job to hang those from as well. 7-pin connection is standard on this. No changes to that. We get a nice little bonus in these newer trailers with reverse lights, but there's no changes to that. We do have it plugged into a little battery box to show you some of the features that we have. And then a manual hand crank jack. Real quick, we'll touch on Transwest and what we can do for you here. Whether you want to add an electric jack to a bumper pull, if you want to add an electric over hydraulic jack to a gooseneck, if you want to add a ramp to the back, if you want to delete a ramp, those are all options for you here. We've got a couple techs in the back that'll make it look like factory, and it'll be factory parts, especially with Logans and Cimarrons, who we're a dealer for as well. So we'll get into the tack room. First and foremost, you'll see on the door, we've got a nice saddle pad rack here for some storage, and then certainly if we're at a show or we're parked up, we can pull this out, get some breeze over that and dry those off. And then secondarily to that, we've got nice little brush tray in the bottom of this door as well. So a really nice spot to store a few things, whether it's easy access to get to first thing when we're loading or unloading, getting to the show, couple spray bottles, whatever you want, you have access to that. And then you'll note too in the door as well, we do have a small bus window in there. So certainly after a show, you've got some sweaty pads, you've got some wet muck boots or some wet splint boots or something like that. So you've got a nice little bus window in here too. Especially we're getting hot. Today's supposed to be our hottest day of the year so far. So nice to be able to open that up and let it breathe a little bit. Now, which I think is the greatest part of these new trailers, is you don't have to step in and out of your tack rooms anymore. So really easy to adjust these. Got a little premature and all that, but like I said, we can adjust these very easily with the twist of a knob back here, no tools needed. And we have that ability to, I could get all 3 of these a little bit closer to me, and I don't have to work my way into the tack room, trip over the saddle pads, trip over the girths and your stirrups and stuff like that, get hung up in the threshold. I've got it all right here at ground level. And then to stow everything, it's as simple as flipping it back in and it's out of your way. And you'll see too that the door's a little bit oversized as well, so that you've got a lot of space. If you've got some longer back saddles, they're certainly going to come out of there. And then secondarily too, even with this out, I can still get in and out of this tack room very, very easily. So working our way in here real quick. Carpeted floor down low, And then below me over here, we do have a matching spare tire, aluminum wheel and spare tires. So we'll talk about our running gear in a little bit. But nice to have if you ever have a flat. You don't have that old rusty steel wheel that we always used to find on the front bumper of trailers or something like that. So you have that ability, again, like I said. And if you ever want to mix those into your tire rotation too, you can buy a little more life. You've got 5 tires, use all 5 of them, especially if they're matching. So working our way around in the Logan, first and foremost, you'll notice this black material everywhere, whether it's on our hitch up front, on our gooseneck trailers. They do it on that drop wall right behind our pickups, and then you'll start to see a lot more of it once we get in the horse compartment too. But this is their Vortex liner, really tough stuff, very similar to your truck bed liner that we see going down the road. Great material. They do a lot of promo videos with it, whether it's coating a pop can, an empty pop can and standing on top of it, or dropping a cinder block and watching it bounce. But really a lot of positive feedback from this, whether it's behind the truck and standing up to rock chips, or standing up to our horses rubbing around on it with their feet, or the like. So we'll notice pretty much side to side, full width here. We've got bridle hooks, whether we're hanging a bunch of tack and equipment, or we need some spots for a couple extension cords or hoses. They do a really nice job with these hooks. These are nice and deep. We're not gonna find all that stuff on the floor when we get home or when we get back to our show that we've all seen in the past. And then hanging up here in the corner to complement in the corner our onboard water tank is you get a little 10-footer hose with it. That way, if you want to hook up to that bottom spigot down there, you can very easily do that and run it out to a bucket. And then that brown spigot there about midway or down lower at least, you can very easily fit your typical 5-gallon bucket right underneath that. And it's all just gravity feed. You have a valve or a tap or a top at the bottom, at the top. If I could spit out some words, I'll give it a shot. But real easy to fill up at home. Obviously, just run your hose into there, make sure your valves are off, and you've got onboard water access. Whether you're going to a trail ride that doesn't have water access, whether you're going on a long road trip across country and you want to have some easy access to it, not have to look for it at every fuel stop to offer to your horses, or you just want to have that option to have water from home to offer your horses and they're not going to like the water where you are, you have that option as well. So 2 more things. Inside our tack room, we've got a light switch just above our water tank there as well. So that's going to run our interior light here inside, all LEDs. We'll talk a little bit about that more later too. And then secondarily, we also have a floodlight right outside of our tack room. So that's going to run that individually. We've got some other floodlights and spotlights over our rear ramp and over our tie rings on passenger and driver side, but this one's going to individually control that as well. So we have that option to do that. We'll close this up real quick as we work our way around. You will notice here on the hip side, we've got some very oversized bus windows. Again, gonna be a hot day today. We can open these up. We're gonna get a lot of airflow through these. And then with our drop windows that we'll talk about on the head side, again, we'll move a lot of air through these trailers. So a couple tie rings over here on our tack room side. Really nice to tie up our horses over here, obviously, right next to our tack room. If we brought a couple that aren't getting along, very easily throw a few. We've got mirror image on the other side. And then of course, we've all been in those parking spots that just don't allow. So you've got options. You've got 3 on this side. Again, we talk about add-ons all the time. We talked about some big add-ons with a jack or a ramp or something like that too, but we can go as simple as adding some tie rings for you as well, if that's what you're looking for. Big awning light above us as well. Really nice to light up the day, light up the night, excuse me. We're all really used to working early mornings or late nights when we're in the dark. So you have control over that over there on our rear post as we'll get around to the back of the trailer. Real quick, we'll talk about axles. We're on 5,200 pound Dexter torsion axles here. Electric drum brakes, 16-inch wheels and tires. Always make sure you have an electric brake controller in your tow vehicle. Make sure you have control and you are able to change the settings of those brakes, and then you can feel that it's always a fluid setting. Certainly this trailer empty is a very different weight. You can almost double the weight of it if you added 3 horses and a bunch of tack into it. So know those settings, get comfortable with that feeling, and it's always an ever-changing setting. It's not one of those when you pull off your lot, we'll give you a numerical value to set it at, and that's where it is forever. It's ever changing, and weather conditions will affect that as well. So know your running gear, and like we talked about too, we've got a matching spare tire in there. So if you ever have a flat or you want to add those into your rotation, you can very easily do that. Work our way around to the back of the trailer. We've got it wide open right now. We have built this trailer out with a ramp. So the way that it's built is we've got 50-50 double doors here on the back. These are independent, so they can close one or the other individually, and then the ramp is over those rear doors. So if you ever wanted to use this as a box stall and you were going to be greeted by a nose poking away at you at the door, it's a lot easier to lower this ramp first and then individually open one door, get your shank on your horse. If it's a mare and foal, for instance, you have easy access that way. And like I said, working your way into the Logan, especially back here in the stock area, you start to see this Vortex liner. It's on the back of our doors, it's on our kick walls, and it's even on our head wall and our partition wall as well. Now, the other place that they put it is on our flooring. So we are a rubber matted floor. Rubber mats over wood flooring. The wood flooring is coated with that Vortex liner. So our suggestion with wood floor maintenance, with good maintenance and good housekeeping, it can last you a really, really long time. The number one thing to look out for is to keep any kind of urine soaked or wet shavings out of here. Do some good housekeeping whenever you use your trailer and keep it cleaned out. Our suggestion on maintenance or service is when you're doing your once a year maintenance and greasing and checking your bearings and brakes, also pull up your mats, pull everything out of here and clean it out and have a good look at things. Our number one stall here, number two stall technically, is a telescoping divider. The reason we do that is so we can go flat right up against this wall. Just a simple little double-ended step right there. It can hold it against the wall for us, whether we're loading some spicy horses and we need all our hands and we don't want to hold this against the wall, or we're using it multi-purpose and bringing our mower in here or something like that, or hauling a small load of hay. You have that ability, pin both of those guys up against that wall. They're going to be flat over there. And again, like I said, you've got kind of an open box in here, whatever you're going to use it for. So working our way in, we are padded dividers on both of those too. Bit of added comfort for that. And then biggest piece of comfort that we get out of these trailers, and we've got them wide open right now, we do have some screens in there, just as a little added layer of protection when you're running down the road. But we can move a ton of air through these trailers. So this is head side, obviously. We've got some jail bars here that I'm not going to reach through the screen, but these can be dropped very easily too if we're at a fuel stop. If we're at a show, we need to get a shank clipped on, or we want to offer some water on the road. And then above that too, some more tie rings as well. Like we said, if you ever want to add one, that's really easy for us to help you out with. But a nice spot to hang a hay net, tie your horses or something like that. And then more creature comforts. If I lean back too far, I'll dump those off. We've got some roof vents as well. So wintertime, you would open that direction. You'd move some of that stale kind of moist air out of the trailer. And then summertime, like today, we're going to open all three of these to suck some air in forward for us and move a lot of air right over the heads and backs of our horses. And between those, getting these drop windows down at our bus windows on hip side, if you're moving at 70 miles an hour down the interstate, especially with those open alone, you'll move a lot of air through the trailer. So nice feature to have, especially we're going to be flirting with 90 degrees today. So I would certainly want to be wide open in a big 3-horse. If you had 3 big horses in a trailer this size, they'll create naturally just a ton of body heat in here already. So, and then again, real easy to close everything back up. Padded dividers are all on slam latches, so again, we've always got a hand on a hip or a butt to keep them from backing out on us, so we can very easily do that and close those guys up tight. And like I said, LEDs throughout inside as well, so we've got one main switch here on our rear post, but then we can switch a couple of these on and off individually too. If we're hauling through the night and you want a little bit of light, you can have that and tailor it to your needs. Big piece of this trailer too, big add-on to this trailer is the ramp as well. Of course, everybody has their preference, but when you're looking for a ramp, this is certainly a great way to go. Factory installed, can certainly save a few bucks from finding something that we have in inventory and adding it on, but that's always an option. We will close this side up just to give you a look at a couple little things. Another awning light above us as well, and we have control of that with this switch here. And then secondarily, we have another switch that'll run our interior lights as well. And like we said, everything is LED, so low power draw on these. Not going to kill a lot of batteries. It's going to take a long time to kill some batteries if you happen to leave some lights on or something like that when you're plugged into your tow vehicle. But a really nice addition too is LED taillights, but in the middle of that LED taillight, it's bright sunny day today, hard to see, but we have a reverse light turned on for you there too. So whether you're backing into the same spot that you always do at home and it's dark and you just have that one little thing you look for, this will help light that up for you. Or you're at a show and it's your first time out or first time backing into a spot, really nice. And like we said, it's all part of that 7-pin connection. So as soon as you throw your truck into reverse, those are going to fire up for you. We will close this up and then we'll close our ramp for you just to give a look at the back. Actually should have dropped that back down. That's one of the lighter ramps I've felt in a long time. So very well sprung ramps too. They're not going to break your back lifting those guys up. Getting over here to driver's side, like we talked about, mirror image. Excuse me, we've got some tie rings here. We've got another floodlight to light things up for us if we need to park over here, or if we need to get a couple of horses over here, like we were talking about. Take a look at some of them are more, see it in the shadows a little bit better, more of our LED lighting as well. Really nice. We've got a lot of clearance lights on these trailers. We certainly want people to see what we're doing. So now we'll get to the best part of the driver's side of these trailers, is these drop windows. So we have jail bars in place there. Obviously running down the road, you always want to have these up. And we do put a little screen in there, very easily removable if you have one that you think might nibble on that a little bit. That's something we can pull off for you there. But then center post there is spring loaded. That's our latching mechanism to pull those pins in and out so we can get it out of its track. And like we said, if you want to offer some water to them, if you want to offer a little hay at a fuel stop, you can do that. If you're getting clipped on at the show, to unload, you have that access as well. And then Logan does a great job with these. I'm sure you've all noticed by now, I'm not the tallest guy at the dealership. This bar is awesome. You don't have to reach all the way up there. We have some other manufacturers that put them on the side, and it's quite a bit of a reach for a lot of people, not just me. But this bar makes life really, really easy. That releases everything for us, and we can drop it right back down. And then wintertime, of course, we're all getting hot today and thinking about that, but wintertime we can open up these smaller bus windows. We don't have to be blasting them with all of this air. Keep a little air moving through there. You can very easily crack a few of these, crack your roof vents in the reverse fashion, and move some of that stale air through the trailer like you need to. So like we said, really nicely equipped Bullseye trailer. We've got some Crossfires on the lot. We've got some Bullseyes. Logan does a great job with both of them, whether you're looking for bumper pulls or goosenecks. We have some options there as well. If you have any questions specifically about tow vehicles, about weights, about ratings and that kind of stuff, we'd be happy to help you out with that. I'd be happy to help you out with that specifically. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. You can call or text me on my cell phone. It's 859-509-1282. If you have questions about this trailer specifically, we'll have a lot of stuff listed for it online. You can reference its stock number. It's 5N250533. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.